Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Coach Naz, a love coach, and in today's video, I want to talk about something that men really need to understand, which is why can you build a relationship with an emotionally immature woman? So if you are interested, then please keep on watching. So let's firstly talk about three quick telltale signs that this woman that you're dating or you're in a relationship with is emotionally immature or unavailable, which is pretty much the same thing. Now, the first sign is that she has frequent mood swings. So what that means is that she easily gets triggered, okay? And like she at one moment she can be up here happy, you're having the best time with her, and the next moment is a complete flip. It's like the devil has arose from the ashes. It can be really bad, and it feels you leaving, you can't predict what her mood is going to be like, and you almost have to walk on eggshells because you don't know what she's going to say the next moment and what is going to flip that switch. So somebody who has frequent mood swings, this is literally reminds me of my childhood. It's like the most it's just such an unsafe place to live and be and create your life, build your life with a person like this, because it can really cause a lot of damage in your life. So please be aware of this, people that have frequent mood swings. Now, the second telltale sign is that this person avoids to take responsibility, which is one of the biggest signs ever. So what that means is that when you come up to her and you say, you know what, let's say you are somebody that is emotionally intelligent and aware, and you say, you know what, when you said did X, Y, and Z, it made me feel X, Y, and Z. And so, when you do address an issue that, by the way, into her mind, it seems like you're criticizing her, right? So usually a person like this will avoid taking responsibility. They will refuse to admit that she's wrong, and she will make you the problem, you the bad guy. Okay, so sorry, I need to move this because it's driving me crazy. All right, so continuing on. So these two are the telltale signs. The third one is their inability to handle conflict. This one, woo. So basically it goes hand in hand, I guess, with avoiding taking responsibility. So whenever there is some sort of a conflict, whether it is something out there, let's say even it's with our work, she prefers to ignore the issues, right? Instead of addressing it constructively, instead of saying, okay, how can we fix this? What can we do? Instead of doing all of that, she sits and she, says it's their fault. They have to, it's all of them and I'm all great over here. So inability to basically own up to her part and to fix a problem. That's a really, that's something that you have to keep in mind. Actually, there was this one time when I was dating this guy. And he was a great guy, to be quite frank. Like, he wasn't toxic or anything like that, so he was great. But one thing that I caught him doing, it's like a pattern. I can notice everybody's patterns is almost like a curse. And so every week when we would meet up, he would say the same thing. I have an assistant and she's horrible and she's this and she's that every week. Okay, so what are you doing about it? Oh, nothing. I couldn't do, my dad and this and that happened. And okay, well, if there's no solution, I don't want to hear about it, to be honest. If you're not working towards the solution or solving it, then this is going to be, it's like a big, it's like a big drainer. It drains your energy. And my job in my life right now, is to remove anybody that is going to take away my energy, because my energy is very important to me. You know, how I show up to my daughter, how I show up to my family, how I show up to my clients online with you guys is so important. I don't want anybody. That's why I'm glowing, because I don't have people around me that are draining my energy. And if I have somebody in my life that is doing that, I'm going to come up. And of course, you know, you have to, like, things happen and life happens, and I'm not saying like I'm perfect, but if there is a problem, let's say with a friend, I have to address it straight away. Or if there's something at work, I have to, face it head on. I cannot ignore, avoid problems, and then talk to my friends about it for not the next 3 years. So if you find that, any of these frequent mood swings, avoidance of responsibility, and an ability to handle conflict, this is a woman who's emotionally immature. So now let's look at some of the, actually why you shouldn't be in a relationship. I mean, if I have not already given you the answer of why you shouldn't be with this person, then let's keep going. But one of the main reasons is they lack emotional regulation. Okay. So what this means is that this person struggles to manage their emotions, which when somebody is unable to manage their emotions, okay, which means that they have a lot of tantrums throughout the day, that means that, okay, again, they're unpredictable. You don't know what's going to come out of them. It makes you feel anxious, okay? And also, what it means is then you have to help her. That is your job basically in the relationship, to regulate her emotions. And nobody's job in a relationship should ever be to regulate somebody's emotions. That is an individual's job. That is your journey in life, how to understand your emotions and learn how to be an adult and stop screaming, shouting, breaking things because you're angry at X, Y, and Z. So if you continue being in a relationship with them, then this is going to be a problem that you're going to face, is they're going to lack emotional regulation. And I know that not everybody's perfect. I have issues sometimes regulating my emotions, but I'm open about it. I say, you know what? Today I was having I told my daughter all the time, you know what? Mommy was feeling really frustrated right now. And I was very, very angry at X, Y, and Z. Or I'm so sorry, I was so distracted. Whatever emotion that I have, I will say it. I will apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm working on it. Go take a cold bath and get my thoughts together and then communicate. This is what it means to regulate your emotions. Take a deep breath, do meditation, all these different things. And so this person that you're in a relationship with, if you do end up being in a relationship with someone who's emotionally immature, they aren't able to share how they feel with you because they don't even know themselves how they feel. Now, the second why that you shouldn't be in a relationship with this person is because they can't communicate, right? And also one of the things that, for me, I would rather have somebody who's honest, but a person like this who's emotionally mature, they're going to be very passive aggressive. So what they're going to do is they're going to say something, what they really want to say, but they're going to make like a little light of it, or say it in a very calm way, but inside they're brewing. There's like a storm, tornado about to erupt. And also either they do that or they totally, avoid important conversations. And let me tell you something. In a marriage, in a relationship, if you are unable to have important, difficult, hard, ugly, just uncomfortable conversations with that person, that relationship, and I'll give you a freaking, I'll write it down and I don't even know what I was going to say, but it will not work. I'll give you a guarantee it will not work. If you cannot have difficult conversations with somebody, the relationship will not work. And even if it does, it's going to be unhealthy, it's going to be toxic, because you're going to feel unseen, unheard. And then you're going to look for those needs to be met by somebody else, by your friend, by a man, by a woman, by a strip club. I don't know, wherever you get your needs met. So, and think about it for a second. If you have a friend, because I mean, every marriage relationship should be based on a friendship. If you don't even have that basic, able to communicate with that person, then why are you in a relationship? For what? I do have a lot of people that come to me and they say, I'm just in a relationship so I can get my retirement plan money. Because of the kids. The kids are at home, and because, I just don't want to live in a different place right now. And it's like, I mean, that's a whole different story, but like all of these are just excuses to stay there, to remain there, to be comfortable. Now, the last part about this, I feel like I'm screaming. The last part about this is inability to take responsibility, which is like, it's so big. It's like, if you're in a relationship with somebody who's just constantly avoiding to take accountability for their mistakes, and they keep on blaming you, first of all, it's a manipulation tactic, as you keep thinking it's your problem, it's your fault, and you keep blaming yourself. A lot of this is what happens with narcissistic personalities and empaths, where the empaths keep on blaming themselves. Oh my God, it's my fault. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, if I just did this a little bit better, then he would be really nice to me, or vice versa. A lot of men, women are narcissistic. The men, oh, if I just, cleaned up after myself, she wouldn't have been so degrading to me or like hurtful to my family. No, this cannot be how we have relationships, where we need to, blame ourselves. This is where the awareness part comes in, being connected to yourself and knowing and deciphering between, is this person really coming out of love? Are they really coming to help me out here? Or are they coming to suppress my needs? To really diminish my value? What is this person trying to really do? And this is why I say journaling is so big, because when you write down your thoughts and you say, this person, my husband said this to me, and, or let's say, for example, my wife said X, Y, and Z to me. And what are her intentions? What does she really want to make me feel? Right? So understanding this is huge, because you really get to know the intentions of a human being. And if we can only do these things when we're dating instead of waiting until we're married, and this is why I always say don't sleep with people on the first or second date, or even for a month. Wait till 3 months, because the first 3 months is a honeymoon phase. You guys are saying all the right things. Yeah, I have values, I have standards, I'm great, I'm religious or whatever. And then you find out that, oh my God, actually this happened to me. I was dating this guy, and this is a long time ago. I was dating this guy, and he was like, yeah, I'm really religious, and I'm faith-based and all that. Like I'm a God-fearing man, and that's not really my belief, but I'm spiritual, right? So like, okay, let's see how this works. Now, we started dating, and then suddenly I started like finding all these things about him, Now, when you say that you're, by the way, I'm going off on another tangent, but when you say you're a God-fearing man, like you believe in God and all that kind of stuff, that means that you actively try to be a good human being. I like this better, actually. Okay. You try to be a good human being, okay? What that means is that you don't try to steal, you don't try to hurt somebody, and so anyways, later down the line, I found all these things where his words weren't aligning with his actions. So he apparently was taking all this money from taxes and, doing all this fraud stuff. And, I had to call him out. Like, this is not acceptable to me in a relationship. Lies and deceit is not something that I want in my relationship. And unfortunately, I had to leave that, because that's just not my thing. So that's what I'm saying. When you first meet somebody, it's all, yeah, like I'm great. But then of course, when you say, oh, I'm great, you have this, oh, all the values align. Oh, he made me feel so special, or she made me feel so special. And then straight away after the third date, you're like, oh, like we have really good chemistry, like, you know, and you come to my place and you guys sleep around, right? And then again, you're like on a different hormonal level. You're seeing this person with heart-shaped eyes, you know, and you're unable to really listen to them. And by the way, I've done all of these things. I've made all of these mistakes like 10 bazillion times over. And so I know that that is just not the way that it works. I mean, you can go ahead, you can waste your time, you can go and do the, you know, all the stuff that I did and waste your, you know, I already said that, but I don't want you to, you know, but that's not enough. I need you to not want it, right? So that's a whole different story. I feel like we're all on a different journey. Anyways, I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue. I'm going to end the conversation. This is Wednesday. After 15 minutes, this is my third video in a row. So you know what's happening. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because I feel like it really will help you men to see that you do not need to be with a woman just because she's beautiful, just because she cracks a couple of jokes. You need to value yourself much more than that, okay? You will, and by the way, attraction is something that gets built. All right? It's not as soon as you see them and, you know, like, oh, I'm so hot and heavy and I'm so attracted. No, that's a whole different story, but try to create a friendship first before you get in bed, before you have all this lust. Stop putting lust as your priority. Lust should be at the back. Right now, you're just creating a friendship. And of course, I'm not saying, you know, attraction is important, but just make sure that you keep all that lust stuff later on. All right, I'm going to end the video here. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, if you want to add anything to what I said, or if you like something that I mentioned, then please comment that down below. Also, if you want to work with me or you want to know what I'm all about, then I need to figure this out. Anyways, check the link down below and I will see you guys in my next video.